Hi there guys, Austin here with +1G, and Dark Neostorm has officially been released in OCG, so we are starting to get reveals from the Infinity Chasers, which is, as you know, the set that I am most excited about coming up in Yu-Gi-Oh! For 2019. Thankfully, we have a lot of information. I think every single card from the Evil Eye, formerly known as Cursed Eye, archetype has been revealed for us, and it's pretty dense, so I'm going to try and go as quickly as possible while still giving you guys the information that you need and that you deserve about these new cards that we can expect in late March. The first card that was revealed for the Evil Eye archetype was Medusa, Death Disciple of the Evil Eye. She's a level 4. She reminds me of Sariel because she activates on normal summon only. When she's summoned, you can target one Evil Eye card in your graveyard except herself and add it to your hand. This is a great mid-game effect because it lets you recur resources without having to pay life points to recur Selene. It lets you get a Sariel back if you need it. It lets you get back really a monster or a spell or a trap. We'll talk about some of the traps later that are really strong and can put you in a winning position. She also has a quick effect when she's equipped with the Evil Eye of Selene. It's a DD Crow effect. That seems like it's pretty strong, especially if Sky Striker manages to stay in the meta past the FNL list. And in general, like, we're hitting cards like whatever Dragonhawk is targeting, or Altergeist Manifestation activates and targets something, and she's a quick effect, so you can use her to disrupt that. And then her third effect is mandatory. It triggers during the standby phase, just like the other two monsters when you use their second effects. And she forces you to banish one card in your own graveyard if you use her effect to banish something from your opponents. Next is Gls Retainer of the Evil Eye. He's a level 3 Dark Fiend. He's a speedroid to Katamborg, basically. If you control an Evil Eye monster, you can spec him from the hand. During your main phase, he has a second effect, which you can Foolish Burial Goods, an Evil Eye spell trap. The usefulness of this card, to me, continues to be exposed. So, not a lot of the cards, except for maybe like Selene and one other, have effects that activate in the graveyard. And I wish that if they were going with the Swarm, that they would have given the archetype a link too. We'll get to that later. I don't feel like a hard once per turn special summon of a 2k level 3 is going to advance your game state that much. I feel like there are better ways to use your other monster slots, maybe for hand traps or something like that. The archetype did get a field spell. It's Pareidolia, Domain of the Evil Eye. It has 3 effects. The first is when it's activated, you can add an Evil Eye monster from your deck to your hand, so it's a Trickstar Light Stage. However, the card's activation is a hard once per turn, so it's more like Prank Kid's Place if you think about it that way. It has an ignition effect. Once per turn, when you control Evil Eye of Selene in a spell or trap zone, when an Evil Eye monster you control is being attacked, I guess it's a trigger effect, sorry, didn't read enough. During damage calc, you can activate its effect, and basically it makes your opponent also take battle damage from that damage calculation. Its third effect is if it's destroyed while it's in the field zone, you can target one Evil Eye in your graveyard, just a monster, and add it to your hand. They also got a normal spell, a quick play spell, and a continuous spell. The normal spell is simple. It's a hard once per turn activation. You special summon an Evil Eye from your hand or graveyard. If you control Evil Eye of Selene, you can special summon from the deck instead. It's a hero lives with no cost when you have Eye of Selene. considering Sariel is searchable by the field spell and the field spell searches Selene, you're playing, you know, hopefully you'll find room to play 8 to 9 Evil Eye monsters. I don't know how, just because I really don't want to have to play the Retainer. But that would make like Medusa a mandatory 3 of, which I don't think really is warranted at this point. Just because she seems like she's better in the mid game, and Sariel really seems like what you want to go for. It could be like Trickstar, where it's like 3 Sariel, 3 Medusa, and 1 Retainer, or like 3-2-2. I'm not sure. So yeah, specials from deck with no cost, so it's really strong. But it doesn't trigger their effects because they only trigger on normal summon. Their quick play spell is called Curse of the Evil Eye. It basically is an MST if you control an Evil Eye monster. But if you control Evil Eye of Selene, it becomes like a bottomless trap hole for spell traps, so it destroys and then banishes instead of sending to the graveyard. Their continuous spell is, I think, my favorite spell card that is... I really like the Hero Lives. It's my second favorite spell card that was revealed for them today. You can banish an Evil Eye card from your graveyard to activate it instead of just activating it regularly, and it allows you to draw a card. So it's Upstart Goblin by banishing a card from your graveyard. And then once per turn, when an Evil Eye monster equipped with the Evil Eye of Selene attacks during damage calc, you can banish the monster that's battling. So it's also a Whiptail. And then if it's in the spell trap zone and it's destroyed by an effect, so thinking again, like Sariel pops something during the standby phase, when it activates its quick effect to destroy, like, there's synergy. I said in my last video, if they have a reason that popping their own cards is strong, like, this deck is gonna do something. You can ban it, or you can return 3 of your banished Evil Eye cards to the graveyard, so it's just resource management on top of advantage gaining and a Whiptail, which is kind of disgusting, because it's, wow, it's like Eater of Millions, Paleozoic Leancolia, and Upstart Goblin in 1 card, and it's searchable. They also got a normal trap, a continuous trap, and a counter trap. The normal trap is called Jealous Disruption of the Evil Eye. Something tells me that that will have a different translation, but thank you, Yu-Gi-Oh! Organization, for having these translations available for us content creators. Without this, I wouldn't be able to make videos until the cards came out because I can't read Japanese. It says it's a hard once per turn, and if you control an Evil Eye monster, it's a compulse. But if you control Evil Eye of Selene, it compulses 2. Which is just wild. We're out here complaining about Altergeist Selkitis. I guess it's a little different, it's a monster. Anyway, their continuous trap is called Death Control of the Evil Eye. Something tells me again, different name when it's actually localized, but when your opponent special summons a monster in attack position, if you control an Evil Eye monster with higher attack than that monster, you can target that monster to activate this card, take control of that monster. Change of heart. Great! If you control Evil Eye of Selene in your spell trap zone, the monster is also treated as an Evil Eye monster, which is great because you can link it off for Zeracul and you don't have to go into generic stuff. And you can just say no to your opponent's cards. Then we also have the counter trap, which is an Infernity Barrier that's activation can't be negated if you control Evil Eye of Selene. So that's fantastic. Like, I'm really happy with the reveals for this archetype. Like, I was really hoping that they would be strong. They are strong. Like, when you give a deck a variety of ways to use effects of cards that are on the Forbidden and Limited list, like, you have to anticipate that that archetype is going to be strong and that it's going to have an impact in the meta. Like, Do I think that it's going to go from being released to being the best deck in the game? No, but do I think it'll be a solid tier 2 to tier 1.5 option? Absolutely. There's so much toolbox. Like, the more cards you see, the more you get to do with the deck. And like, we think about like the greats that are encompassed by this, like, you know, Sariel is a Stratos, like, they have a hero lives, their field spell is a light stage, they have a change of heart, granted on a continuous trap, so I guess it's more like a trap version of Snatch Steal. Like, you know, they have a double compulse in a trap, they have a Zodiac Whiptail, they have an Infernity Barrier. It's just like, where I know that Konami was like, okay, this deck is gonna center around really strong effects, but there are also drawbacks. I only see drawbacks in the monster effects, and the monster effects seem like, okay, like, these are a great way to get your engine going, but realistically you're winning with the spells and traps, and the spell traps just require you to have the monster on board. So like, I don't see a downside. Like, I'm really, really excited for this deck, and I hope that you guys are too. I'll also note that the Infinite Ignition and Witchcraft archetypes, which are also coming out in the Infinity Chasers, also had 1 card revealed each. I'll gloss over those really quick so that I don't have to make separate videos for each. The Witchcraft Monster is a level 4 fire spellcaster, 1800 attack, 600 defense. Her name is Witchcraft Schmitta. I like that. She looks like she's a little blacksmith. And she has 2 effects, and they're both hard ones per turn. Her first effect is a quick effect during either player's main phase. You contribute her, discard a spell, and then special a Witchcraft Monster from the deck except herself. I'm wondering if this is going to be an effect that all of the Witchcraft Monsters have in common. And maybe the spells will operate like Danger Monsters when this card is discarded for a Witchcraft Monster's effect. Blah 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 blah, you know? Like, just keep thinning the deck. Maybe 1 searches, maybe 1 recurs from graveyard, blah 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 blah. Just to thin, hit the scapegoat, whatever, and win the game. And then it can banish itself from the graveyard to Foolish Burial Goods or Foolish Burial, a Witchcraft Monster or Spell Trap. So more deck thinning there. There's also an Infinite Ignition rank 5, that's the Machine archetype that's coming out in the Infinity Chasers, and it is called Infinite Ignition Riverstorm. Like I said, it's a rank 5, it's an Earth Machine, 2500 attack, 500 defense, and then it has 3 effects, 2 of which are hard ones per turn. It can detach to search an Earth Machine. That already tells me, like, okay, Konami wants this deck to be okay, because, like, Cyber Dragon Instant Fusion for Panzer Dragon make this search seems decent. Or, like, there are a variety of ways to just get a level 5 machine on the field, overlay, search what you need, make one of the Infinite Ignition links, hopefully you get to plus off of that, etc. Its second effect is when it destroys something by battle, you can attach it to the card as Xyz material. Sure, deny your opponent graveyard, whatever, that's fine. It hits Ray. If they leave Ray on board, somehow. If this card is in the graveyard, you contribute 1 Machine Link monster to spec it in defense. That's cool. We'll see what the Link monsters do. Maybe they do something when they hit graveyard. That would be nice. I wish it could special itself in attack so that it could kill something and search later, but, you know, it's fine. So that's everything from today's reveal for Infinity Chasers. You can expect a video on the best cards, in my opinion, in Savage Strike as soon as we get the list of TCG imports and that kind of thing. And have a great day!